I'm delighted to say I'm with Kathryn Sturman today, who is the co-director at Made with Music. Welcome, Kathryn.
Hi, nice to see you.
And you too. So tell us a little bit about Made with Music. What's it all about?
So Made with Music is a charity based in Leeds, West Yorkshire, that aims to make live music accessible to everyone. So that's families with and without disabled family members, and working on kind of truly inclusive music projects where disabled and non-disabled people are accessing music together.
Brilliant. And tell us a little bit about how that came about, Kathryn.
So when I was 28, I lost a lot of my eyesight, and I had a baby shortly after, and I found it very difficult to access kind of parent and baby groups and all of the different stuff that was going on. And I was a musician, but I had to kind of take a pause in my career due to my sight loss. And I got together with a friend who's also a musician, and we started up some classes that were kind of fully accessible. So we worked together so that I was kind of supported back into work with my sight loss. And we also worked with other people to make sure that they were as accessible as they could be to parents with a disabled child or parents that were disabled themselves. So we kind of set it up from a few classes, and now it's a charity. It's been a charity for 5 years, running lots of different projects in lots of different places.
And how are you funding it, Kathryn?
So it's mainly funded through grants from different trusts and foundations and local businesses. We also have like a friends scheme, so people can sign up to kind of pay a yearly amount. We also have kind of contracts with the NHS. So we work with the mental health team there, working with people with postnatal depression, because music has been shown to support recovery from postnatal depression and make that recovery quicker. So we do a lot of work within the hospital. So we have kind of contracts that then, if there's any profit from those contracts, we put that back into the charitable work, or we apply for specific grants to run specific things. We tend to run smaller projects with a small grant to kind of test feasibility, test whether it's what people were wanting, and then we apply for a bigger grant so that we can build it into our regular programme.
Great stuff, great stuff. And you've been going a few years now then. You were obviously around when COVID hit. How did that impact things?
So massively, because all of our work is about live music and face-to-face work. Obviously, when you're visually impaired, it's quite difficult to interact online. It's more difficult because you can't really see anyone on the screen and what's going on. So I found it a personal challenge. But we basically pivoted most of our work online where we could. And we also did kind of correspondence projects because we work with older people as well, who weren't digitally literate, all of them. So we did a lot of kind of sending out of physical letters and postcards and things, and corresponding with older people as well. We set up a YouTube channel, and we did lots of live events. Lots of people that we work with are neurodivergent and really appreciate something at a consistent time. So we made sure we did a consistent schedule of activities every week that people could access from their homes, with multisensory elements and different musical elements that they could do as a family at home, so that people could rely on it basically happening each week.
What I'm hearing, Kathryn, is someone who responds very well to challenges here.
Hopefully.
So what does the future look like? What challenges might you see ahead?
So I think obviously funding is always a challenge, and I think it will be a challenge going forward, because the government is kind of cutting back on arts grants and activity grants. There's a lot less money in the general population, so people can't afford to contribute to the things that we do. Lots of things that we do are sort of pay what you can, or if they're paid for classes, then we provide free and subsidized places as a charity so that everyone can access them. But more and more people have been asking for the subsidies or for the free places. So I think, we're going to have to generate more and more income as it goes forward in order to reach all of the people that we want to reach. So I think that's kind of the main challenge. I think because we're quite a small charity, we're lucky in that we work with people to develop ideas with them. We don't impose on people. So we do a lot of co-production, co-creation of projects from ideas that people have. So I don't see kind of challenges from people wanting to do the work, because it all comes from the people themselves. It's just kind of how we manage to fund it in a very difficult funding climate.
Just out of interest, Kathryn, how many people are you benefiting?
So we've seen about sorry, I can't think. We've seen about 20,000 people since we've been set up. So that's in the last 10 years, but we've kind of started small and we've grown and grown. So we tend to see people kind of regularly, because we do projects, obviously, that, like I mentioned before, the postnatal depression project, that is like a group of 10 weeks. So people kind of tend to come to us consistently. So the numbers aren't always huge, because we like to take people on a journey with us, and hopefully they kind of feel comfortable coming to our activities and events in a way that still society is not really set up for disabled people to access events publicly. Not everything is makes you feel welcome or feel like you can access it. So we try to kind of create this integrated, welcoming environment that hopefully people feel comfortable coming to. And they do generally, because they stay with us. So we've got kind of aspirations for ensembles for kind of older children, and choirs that are for disabled and non-disabled people to access, to make really high quality music together and experiment with different instruments and different voices. Because we've kind of, when we started, we had babies, so lots of people that we attracted had babies as well, and they're obviously like 10 now, so hopefully we're going to keep growing as the kind of children that we've been working with for those years grow as well.
Brilliant. And what have you learned along the way?
So much. I had done kind of project management and worked as a musician before, and freelance, so I've got lots of time management and organizational skills, but I did not have a clue how to run an organization really and set up a charity. So we've kind of learned to work with a board of trustees, and when to get help from them, and when to get help from other people, because when you are used to working for yourself, it can be quite you can be very used to working on your own and try to do everything on your own, but to grow, really, we have to kind of rely on other people and get that support from other people. So I've learned kind of when to ask for help. I think personally that's always been a challenge for me, and I think it's more challenging with my disability, because I just want to carry on doing everything and show and prove to people that I can carry on doing everything, but sometimes everyone needs help. So really knowing when to ask for help has been the main thing that I've learned, as well as everything about running a charity and public funding, and all of the things that go with that.
Reach out for help. Great advice. Kathryn, thank you very much, and congratulations on what you've achieved so far.
Thank you. Thanks. It's been lovely talking to you.